This is a demonstration of Wirecast. 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 This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Meeting to order. Could I have a roll call, please, Michelle?
This
Winkleman?
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Larson? Sanchez?
Here.
Wong?
Here.
Charles?
Here.
Klett?
Back again.
Miller?
Here.
Okay. Everyone is here except Kyle, who is out sick this evening. Approval of the agenda, please.
So moved. Second.
Any questions on the agenda? Okay. All in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The agenda is approved. And now we have the
This is a
Pledge of
demonstration
Allegiance
of
this evening
Wirecast.
with two students from, let me see what's,
Converse, baby.
Converse. Are you two from Converse? Okay, we have two delightful kids with us, Jackson Dorr and Irie Van Landingham. And if you would be so kind as to come up here and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us, we'd really appreciate it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, Irie and Jackson. Thank you to the parents for bringing them in this evening. Okay, we now have announcements, which we would like to ask Mr. Klett to read, please. Announcements. Right here. Thank you.
This is a
Okay.
demonstration of Wirecast.
By the way, Converse is the best grade school. I call it grade school in the city because I went to school there and my brother Benji teaches there. And those two students had Benji for a teacher. Okay, the White Memorial High School parent-teacher conferences will be held this Thursday, September 26th from 5 to 7 p.m. in the Field House. Intermediate parent-teacher conferences will be held next Tuesday and Thursday, October 1st and 3rd in the evenings. Early college credit program applications are being accepted until Tuesday, October 1st. Fall sports have a few weeks left of their seasons. Check out the schedules and come out and support our White Memorial High
This is a
School student
demonstration
athletes.
of Wirecast.
Homecoming week is next week already, September 30th to October 5th. Get all your spirit gear ready. Don't forget to join us for the parade on Friday, October 4th. Home girls swim meet Friday, October 4th at 5 p.m. and the homecoming football game starting at 7 p.m. versus Madison Memorial. The Board of Education will be holding interviews for the board vacancy on Tuesday, October 15th. If you are interested in applying, please get the application from Michelle Schopp or online. Applications need to be completed, notarized, and turned in no later than 5 p.m. on Friday, October 11th, 2019. PSAT is scheduled at Beloit Memorial High School on October 16th. Please check out the calendar on BeloitSchoolDistricts.net for the most up-to-date happenings in the district. Thank you. This concludes the announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Klett. And the next item on the agenda is our new vision statement, and Mr. Wong would like to discuss that and present that, please.
Okay, on, let's see, Friday, the 6th of September, and Saturday, the 7th of September, the 7 of us met at the, actually for the retreat, and that was put together by Dr. Monroe. We met at the Colac Center, the new Colac Center that is, and we had a very productive meeting. The first part of the morning, the first evening, we actually had dinner, had some discussion. The whole presentation was done by our facilitator, was Dr. Camilla Franco, and I thought she did a very good job. She took us, the first night was just more of an introduction as far as what we were doing. The second day, we talked about professionalism of boards and the difference between professional and political boards. We talked about characteristics of effective boards, roles and responsibilities. And the one thing that we came up with in the afternoon was developing a new governance team vision. And we came up with a new vision for the district, and it was collectively done. I thought it was started off on a very good note. And the new vision statement for the district is preparing and inspiring every student to succeed in life and contribute to an ever-changing world. So our goal is to, that's the start of a new beginning here, I believe, and also we have some protocol that we'll be following up on in the near future as well. So very positive meeting. I think everybody walked away from that with a renewed sense as far as the direction that this district is going. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Wong. And we will be reading our vision statement at each business meeting in the future, just to remind all of us what our goal is and keep us focused. Now we have some recognitions. Ms. Christoph, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Monica Christopa, the Chief of Communications and Marketing for the School District of Beloit. And I am very pleased. This is a wonderful part of my job and responsibilities, is to recognize and honor those individuals. So the first person I would like to recognize is Mrs. Heidi Andre. Could you come up, please? Hi. Mrs. Andre was honored by Rotary this past week for Teacher of the Month, which is a very nice thing. And I'm going to read some wonderful accolades that they said and wrote about you. So Mrs. Andre is a National Board Certified Science Teacher and the Science Department Chair, and is a long-standing employee in the School District of Beloit and Beloit Memorial High School. Mrs. Andre is not only a remarkable educator in the classroom, she is involved with many different aspects of the school that positively impacts the whole entire school operation, including senior class advisor, organizing the Roy Chapman event in March, working with the Environmental Club, prom, senior class cruise, senior victory tour, and graduation. Mrs. Andre is involved in many leadership capacities that assist with moving Beloit Memorial High School in a positive direction for students and staff. She has served as the department chair for many years, PLC leader, master scheduler, and one of the lead participants on the College and Career Academy Committee. Mrs. Andre has been involved in district committee work as well, positively impacting board policy for science curriculum at all grade levels. Superintendent Monroe acknowledged the expertise and exceptional work of Mrs. Andre as well. She has greatly impacted, in his words, our district and students. We appreciate and value her contributions to educating our students. So we want to thank you for your continued.
If I may, Ms. Andre, you embody the greatness that lies within the School District of Beloit, and we thank you for your service. Thank you.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Tonight, we also want to recognize David Wilson, former board member. David resigned from the board this month for personal reasons and unfortunately was unable to join us tonight to be recognized for his service as a board member for just over 2 years. Prior to serving as a board member, David worked in the district as a parent liaison and after-school coordinator. Having grown up in Beloit and graduating as a Purple Knight, David was very active in our community. He often coached children or was found refereeing many sports. He worked closely with the United Way and worked for Visit Beloit. David was also a volunteer in the district and community by serving on the E-Quality Committee and was a part of Youth to Youth Coalition for many years. So, David, although you're unable to be here and join us this evening, we wanted to really recognize him in his service and volunteerism. We will also be mailing him this plaque, which shows our gratitude for him and the work that he did for our district. So if we can have a round of applause for David. The next person we want to recognize is Mr. Jeff Klett, returning board member. Jeff Klett has once again applied and been appointed to serve as the board member, filling a vacancy for the Board of Education. As many of you know, Jeff filled a vacancy for the district last year as well. Additionally, he was elected and served the district as a board member from 2005 through 2008 and president during the 2007-2008 school year. As we know, Jeff is no stranger to board work, having served on the Greater Beloit Chamber of Commerce, Beloit Snappers, and Rockford Gymnastics Academy boards, and currently serves on the Greater Beloit Economic Development Corporation Board of Directors, which he also chaired in the years 2014 through 2016. Jeff has always been an activist for what is best for the students of this district. This may come from being one of 10 children in a large, loving family. His career in the insurance business has taught him to analyze situations, apply data, and determine the best possible outcomes based on financials, resources, and capital, like teachers and other staff, all while keeping his eye on the ball and our students. Welcome back to the board, Jeff. Thank you for your service. And now I have the honor of recognizing and introducing our student board representative, Cassandra Duran Vasquez. Cassandra is the new student board representative for the 2019-2020 school year. She is a senior at Beloit Memorial High School, as well as the senior class vice president. You are a busy young lady. Other clubs or groups that she is involved with both inside and outside of school are Link Crew, the Symphony Orchestra, and LULAC. She has volunteered for school events such as Kids Against Hunger at the high school, reading for the students at Merrill Elementary, and helping at Todd's School's Carnival. She has not yet decided on a college of her choice, but after graduating, she does plan on pursuing a major in education, as well as hopefully coming back to Beloit Memorial High School and becoming an educator. Thank you for your service.
Okay, well, welcome back for the third time, Mr. Klett. And the first time, Miss Cassandra Duran Vasquez. We appreciate you serving. Congratulations. Okay, and we are now at public comment time. Members of the audience, the Board of Education is now at the place on the agenda where we will receive public comment on areas of interest that are not on the agenda. If you're here to speak about something on the agenda, please wait until that item comes up for discussion. The Board of Education will generally not respond or act on items that are not on tonight's agenda. Appropriate items will be referred to administration or one of the board's committees. While the board and district welcome public comments, we as a board also must ask that you exercise care in your comments that relate specifically to district employees, to our students, or to other persons connected with the school system. In order to protect the rights of these individuals, the board will end comment on such topics. The use of specific names of district personnel may lead to legal liability on the part of the speaker. The board has existing procedures in place to address legitimate complaints about staff members or persons related to the system. The Board of Education asks that each person wishing to address the board has completed a citizen comment card and given it to the board secretary prior to the starting of the meeting. Individuals will come to the podium as they are called and give their name and address before speaking on their topic. Each person will be given up to 3 minutes to speak. Public comments requiring translation will be given 6 minutes. Mr. Wong is our timekeeper this evening. Is there anyone that would wish to speak at this time?
I have 2 people.
Who's first? Ms. Schopp?
The first person I have is Joyce Metter.
Demonstration of
Okay.
Wirecast.
Welcome, Ms. Metter.
Good evening. I'm Joyce Metter, 1336 Moore, and I'm here speaking tonight on behalf of the League of Women Voters of Beloit. The League is concerned about open communication between the Board of Education and the citizens of Beloit, which may be compromised by proposed changes to Policy 187 relating to public participation at board business meetings. Instead of having the public comment section in the beginning of the business meeting before items are discussed and proposed, to have a separate listening session after the meeting has been completed. This seems to defeat the whole idea of public opinion being aired and elected school board members hearing from their electorate. Would the board be available for all concerns and listen to all comments if a listening session was held after the business meeting when everyone is tired? The article in the September 23rd Beloit Daily News
Demonstration of Wirecast.
states that the business meeting will continue to be televised, but nothing was stated about the televising of a listening session. Will the hundreds of citizens who rely on the broadcast still be able to hear the reaction of others to the board's agenda, even if they don't subscribe to the paper or listen to the local radio? Generally, the public comment section of the meeting is not very lengthy and does not affect the progress of the board meeting. When there is an issue of major concern,
Wirecast.
the board and the community need to hear about it while the maximum number of viewers are watching. After all, having public television comments at the beginning of the meeting is a common practice of most cities with a public access TV. The League encourages the board to continue its long-standing tradition of open and televised public comments during the business meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Metter.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Next, I have Catherine Swain.
Do you want my
Welcome,
name
Ms.
and
Swain.
address right now?
Pardon?
Do you give my name and address right now?
Yes, please.
Catherine Swain, 737 Elm Street, Beloit. I am a veteran teacher, and for the past 3 years, I have been a guest teacher for the school district of Beloit, and I am also a proud resident of the Hackett neighborhood for 48 years. The last few years in the Beloit School District, it seems like we've been on a long and winding road. At many times, it has been difficult, other times frustrating, and at times even sad. But this is the 2019-20 school year, and I believe we have turned the corner. I have so far been a guest teacher in 6 buildings since school started, and tomorrow will be my 7th different building. And I am smiling because I have been in sparkling clean, shiny, beautiful buildings that have been maintained, fixed, repaired, polished, waxed over the summer.
This is a
I have taught
demonstration
summer
of
school, so I saw
Wirecast.
the Aramark staff working. School began, and then the beautiful children entered these clean and lovely buildings. They were also served by Airmark food service staff, which also works so well together and gets 400 or 500 little elementary students through those lines with relative ease, and the food is nutritious and good for them. I am also pleased to welcome Dr. Monroe and the school district board members for this coming year, and the dedicated board that we have. I am so proud to be part of Beloit. Dr. Monroe, I have noticed so far some things that I am pleased with in the work that you and the board have done. The first thing that I would like to say I'm pleased about is the adding of the Wednesday afternoon PLC time for the staff. As a veteran teacher, I know how important that is for them. And the extra Friday work time. I also noticed that you have installed assistant principals in the buildings, and in some buildings also a dean of students. And I have already seen this helping in the day-to-day running of the schools and the students. I've also noticed that you have moved the elementary lunch to the spaces in the school that were designed for that. And I have noticed that in the 6 times I've been in the building so far, that how much more calming the atmosphere is in the building and how much cleaner the environment is. Furthermore, let's see where I am now. I would also like to say that all the implementation that has been done is so very, very important, because most importantly, it frees up more time for teaching and learning. And every minute counts. In conclusion, I would like to say that we have a beautiful, well-maintained, and well-staffed neighborhood school is the tapestry and fabric of a strong community. Beloit, we've got this.
Thank you so much. Okay. Are there any more people registered to speak? Okay. So then we'll move on now to the superintendent's report. Dr. Monroe?
Good evening.
This is
I've been on an extensive listening tour for the past 2.5 months to learn as much as I can about the school district of Beloit. Who are we? What do we stand for? Why do we do what we do? One thing is for certain, there are very dedicated teachers, staff, students, principals, and parents in the school district of Beloit. Today I had the honor and privilege of witnessing 2 of our scholars, Megan Drucker and Arabelle Gibson from Beloit Memorial High School, be recognized at the Rotary Club of Beloit for their outstanding leadership and academic achievements. Additionally, Kim Stakoviak was also recognized for her 19 years of service in the school district of Beloit and her exemplary work with her students. I visited Aldrich Intermediate School today and was impressed to see the student-centered learning environments and the high level of engagement between the students and teachers. A special thank you to 4th grade teacher Carolyn Lynch, 7th grade teacher Stephanie Rapak, and interim principal Betsy Schroeder. As you're aware, we also have significant student achievement challenges that we have said we will tackle this year and into the future. As a district, we will own this data and face our challenges head on. The ownership starts right here with me. The solution lies within this room, in each classroom, household, and the community. We must all pull together to ensure our students are achieving at a high level. State report card rankings of 426 districts, Beloit is around 420. State report card trends have been trending downward since 2013. Individual schools in our district, if we look at them, 4 of the 11 schools meet or exceed expectations on the state report card. 2 of our schools fail to meet state standards. Open enrollment out. If we look at the number of students that are leaving, in 2018, there are a net of 559 kids, 721 out, 162 in. That negatively impacts the district by us losing millions of dollars in lost revenue. Our kids deserve better. The status quo is not acceptable anymore. We must move forward with higher expectations for ourselves and the School District of Beloit, in partnership with the parents, the business community, the city, all stakeholders.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
So we have been conducting listening sessions with board members, community members, business leaders, staff representatives, and parents to hear their perceptions and expectations. There is a general consensus that we need to do better for our children, that we must do better if our children are going to be prepared to be contributing members of the 21st century economy. So we'll be embarking on 3 major initiatives this year to increase student achievement. The first is a focus on the instructional core at the classroom level, an emphasis on increasing content rigor to ensure a deeper conceptual understanding, engagement of students in the learning process, and improve teacher instruction and assessment practices, hence the PLCs. This will be led by Ms. Mellencamp, the Executive Director of School Leadership, in conjunction with the teachers, staff, building principals, and stakeholders. This will be a collaborative approach. We also engage our school community through a 45-person revitalization task force that will focus on 2 aspects of increasing student achievement. The reconfiguration. They will also examine the implications of our current grade level configuration for student achievement and recommend for the board's consideration a reconfiguration model to better address student achievement. We will also examine the need for a magnet school for the performing and visual arts, music, theater, dance, and visual arts, as well as health sciences. With respect to a strategic plan, the task force will also participate in a strategic planning process and develop strategies for improving student performance. The outcome will be a plan that has numerical benchmarks, expectations, and targets that will serve as a guide for student achievement and sustainable success that the entire community can support and rally around. We'll be presenting the task force charge and membership configuration for the 45-person task force and timeline of the work to the board at the October board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Monroe. And now we have student board member report from our student, Ms. Duran Vasquez. Welcome.
Thank you. Okay, so I just want to say, first of all, thank you for welcoming me and allowing me to be on the board. Thank you to the students who put their faith in me, which is a big responsibility, but I'll try my best to make sure to represent everyone and have our voices be represented to the board. So first thing I want to talk about, so there are a lot of changes this year with Wednesdays being half days with that 1 hour, which is good for the students because, 1 hour off of school, that's always fun. And then also with the first day of school, it was a big change to have that full day instead of that half day. And there was a bit of getting used to. And also, as a link crew leader, it was kind of it wasn't scary for me personally because, I know the school and I'm fine with it. But the freshmen on the first day, we didn't get to have that chance to help them through the school and to guide them to their classes. And we usually, like last year when I was link crew leader, it was just link crew and freshmen. And we were able to guide them to their classes and show them the ways and just help them be there on their first day so they didn't have to be so nervous. And this year we weren't really able to do that with the schedule change, which is a shame. But they were able to find their classes. A lot of the teachers were really helpful with them. And that's just mostly what I was concerned about on that first day. Also, I know me personally as a junior who had to, well, not a junior now, but senior, class of 2020, we kind of felt like with our lunches being taken away year after year, it was kind of a stressful thing to anticipate that, we get to go out, we get to go eat lunch. And now, we don't. And it was kind of disappointing to see that we weren't really seen as responsible enough to go out. And I do understand that, there are lots of situations where things can happen. And there are people that were taking that privilege and weren't using it responsibly. And I think it was a hard choice to make, but it was also kind of not allowing the students to show that we were responsible enough. And then also, personally for me, I wasn't really looking forward that much to going out. I was fine inside the school. But also with kind of the lunch schedules, it's a bit stressful. And I feel like it's really stressful for the lunch staff themselves because you have so many kids coming in and out and just trying to get their food and doing all that. But all of us students are working hard to try and make everything easier and to have everything be more fluid. And yeah. Some other things. Some events that happened last Friday. We had Athlete Recognition Night, and BMHS was actually honored with the official Wisconsin Special Olympics Unified Champion School with our program, with Mr. Vogel's lifeguarding class. The students taking the lifeguarding courses, they were actually able to teach other students to swim through their unified swim program, and that's what gave us the honor by the Special Olympics, which I think was a really big step towards being more inclusive with children in special ed and being able for them to pursue more into sports and feel like they have a sense of belonging, like they can be a part of the sports that they want to be in. So that was really good. And then some other things. Homecoming week is this week. Well, not this week, next week, which is exciting. But also there was a bit of some, I wouldn't say confusion, but Student Senate, they're in charge of homecoming and they get to choose the days. And it's been tradition for a few years now that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are all the same days. Monday's dress up day, Wednesday's class color, and Friday is the big pep rally, spirit day, purple day. And Student Senate, they get to pick Tuesdays and Thursdays. And all the members of Student Senate, they're really excited to pick some really fun days so we can all be a part and dress up and have lots of fun. But this year, it was kind of a shame because we had, I'm not in Student Senate, not yet. Hopefully, next meeting I'm there. But they were able to pick some days that they wanted to choose, and they had some really fun days. And one of the days was Country versus Country Club, and they were able to have that day on Tuesday. But what happened was Thursday ended up becoming 50s Day, and 50s Day wasn't something that they wanted to choose. That was a day that wasn't on their, their decisions. And it was kind of something that was forced upon by their advisors because the theme for the homecoming dance was 50s. But the students, they didn't really feel like because the theme was homecoming that they should specifically have a day in the week for the theme of the dance. And it wasn't solely based on the fact that they didn't really have the right to choose. It was also just 50s in general, like that decade, it's not exactly something that everyone wants to honor. 50s, it was a time of a lot of segregation and discrimination, especially in the education system, which a lot of students took that right away. They saw that that's not exactly a time that they want to honor and that they want to represent. And so there's a lot of talk about that day and how hopefully tomorrow at our meeting we can further discuss that in Student Senate and try to change that. So we can have a day that Student Senate, they themselves chose, and also a day that doesn't exactly represent something that we didn't choose as the students didn't really want. Also for homecoming, we hope that everyone stays safe and we take care of one another and ourselves. We make sure to take others into consideration, especially the city. Just because the high school is having fun and doing all that doesn't mean the city have to go through all our craziness. So hopefully everyone stays safe this homecoming week and we all have a great time.
All right, thank you for that report. Are there any questions for our student rep? Mr. Winkleman?
Always. So two questions. Hopefully they're both easy. First of all, so we get to know you a little bit. What's your favorite class or area of study? And what's one thing you're hoping to learn in your senior year?
So I would say my favorite area of study would probably have to be history. And yeah, it's just fun learning about how things in the past can affect us in the future and how we can learn from our mistakes to be better. And what's the second question? Sorry.
What are you hoping to learn this year?
What am I hoping to learn this year? As a senior, there's lots of things to learn this year. Hopefully I can learn how to, with positions such as this one, I can learn how to be more responsible and learn how to voice others' opinions and be able to fight for others and take others into consideration so that I can ultimately help them get their point across. It's because a lot of students feel like their opinion doesn't matter and that they don't have a big enough voice to express what they feel. And hopefully I can teach myself that I can be that voice for them and that I can take that into my hands and guide them into confidence so that we can all represent ourselves.
We're off to a great start.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful job.
Okay, we're now at the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve everything on the consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second to approve everything listed on the consent agenda. Are there any questions or anything that anyone would like removed?
This
Okay,
is a
seeing none, all in
demonstration
favor of approval of the
Wirecast.
consent agenda, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. All right, the consent agenda passes unanimously. And we are at future meeting dates. All right, the next board meeting will be Tuesday, October 8th at 5 p.m. And that will be a regular board meeting. And hopefully Ms. Shopa will be at the new building by then? Not yet. Okay, so we'll still be here in the Colac building.
This is a
There will
demonstration
be a-
of Wirecast.
Mr. Klett, you're out of order. He wants to know when we're moving. Any information on that, Michelle? Oh, Mr. Winters is here. Can you tell us when we might be moving?
The audiovisual equipment will be, they have us on leave for December because we had to go out to rebid. It caused delays in getting the equipment ordered. So we are on schedule. If somebody cancels, we will get in sooner, but the only date they could guarantee us was December.
December? Oh, my goodness. So we're here until December.
Wirecast.
Unless they have a cancellation or something happens, we will not have capability to broadcast or to even mic the boardroom.
And I don't think you have a mic, so I'll just repeat what you said, that the audiovisual equipment is the holdup, right? And we want to televise our meetings, and so we will be here until December when that's all installed. Thank you, Ms. Armstrong. I appreciate it. Jeff, are you okay now? Christmas, right. Okay. Planning and budget meeting, that's one of our new committees, will be on October 15th at 5 p.m. And we will be holding board candidate interviews following that
This is
meeting for a
demonstration
new
of Wirecast.
appointment to the school board on that same evening on the 15th at 6:30 p.m. There will be the public budget hearing will be on Monday, October 21st at 5 o'clock p.m. If anyone's interested in coming and voicing opinions on the budget or just listening to the presentation, again, that's Monday, the 21st at 5 o'clock p.m. A policy committee meeting of the whole will be on October 22nd at 5 o'clock p.m., followed by our October business meeting. And that's it. Is there a motion to adjourn?
This is a demonstration of
Second.
Wirecast.
Second, okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor of adjournment, please say aye. 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 Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast. This is a demonstration of Wirecast.